Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call. We are here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com, and to access the Zoom call, we're going to scroll down and look for this Zoom banner. Now, this disclaimer is for YouTube. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you would like to be part of Cathy's SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, the information is here to register. But to watch the SRC4u software being demonstrated, she does include the SRC4u group, even though you can't see the name. So I'm going to click through. This is going to take us over to the Zoom platform where the call will be live. So you may want to turn down the volume on your speakers. One moment, please.
Typical of my life, I had a big New Year's Eve planned right at the house by myself. So I ran it on camera, and my goodness, you run that thing on any person or yourself, and it can be horrifying if you have to realize it's just all subtle stuff.
Well, it's not even just that; it's just huge, huge. Like there's so much, and I'm trying to narrow it down. And I still don't have your Excel spreadsheet thing down. I took pictures of it on my phone to try and do it, but
oh my gosh,
I don't know how to quite do that exactly right. So it takes me a friggin' hour just to get the Excel spreadsheet based on the pictures.
I need to do a screencast again on it. I think I mentioned before, Ray drove over to my house 3 times to show me how to do the Excel spreadsheet before I got it.
I appreciate hearing that, because it's like I get it and I love it when I get it, and then I don't do it again soon enough, and then it's gone.
Okay,
it's funny when I was doing it. You remember the old Bob Newhart show? And those ignorant bumpkins would come in and say, "Hi, my name is such and such, and this is my other brother." They were all named the same. And I find myself, when I was doing the Excel spreadsheet, saying, "Hello, my name," just oh my gosh, why can't I get this? But finally, it is. Some things you don't need it if the list is not long. But
oh my gosh, no,
like
this,
yeah.
I mean, it's huge. I'm just in the L's going down from the bottom up, and it takes a lot of time, but I know it feels right to do it. But I remember you doing it on me a couple times.
Yeah. It's when it's called for. It's not often called for, but when it's called for, it's worth doing. And it's so interesting because we can be so proactive. We see it coming. It's like that blood pressure scan, which I'm getting to where I just do. The blood pressure is such a common stress. And we don't want it in the startup, but it's probably not a bad idea to check yourself on that on a regular basis. And anybody who gives you permission, because it's a bigger issue than we are aware, or than many are aware.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did you go look for that dog last night?
Yes, I did.
Well?
Nothing. But I emailed her back when we got back to the house, and because she's right there. So I told her, I said, if you go out there and you see the dog, and I was even thinking about posting lost dog signs. But, I said, if you come across it, please call us. I'll be right out there to pick it up. So, but on y'all's conversation, keep in mind that if there's anything that you want to have just an independent video on, like the Excel spreadsheet, we can do videos on that, and we can do it live. So if anybody has any questions, they can ask them there, or not live. It doesn't matter.
I was telling them we could do a screencast. Live might not. We of course do them live a little bit on the Zoom too, but either or, absolutely, because that'll save a lot of time.
Yeah, but I was listening to Annie focus on the Excel spreadsheet because, I mean, I know Excel, but I look at it, I'm like, what is she doing?
Well, I took pictures of it. So I have step-by-step to go to on my phone, which is, I took it like months ago, so then I have to go through all the photos just to get to it, but it's still, and you have to on the A to Z. There's no, you have to do an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, you have to. It's just
it's massive.
Yes.
And if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes. Yes.
But I'm appreciative it's somewhere in the ethers for me to somehow, some way. Well, I still want to do a special folder that's all your scans. And I just
that had been my goal, to put a manual together. And I'm not making much progress on this but yeah, we should have at least a folder, with all the scans.
Yeah, I mean, I just have, it's just me doing organizing it so that I have that to go to and make it easy. And it's just taking that time,
Well, and part of it, anytime you read a book or hear an article, you can make another scan. So it increases.
Yeah.
And I love that doing that, but then we get a little overwhelmed with scans.
Yeah. How's Ray's coming?
Well, I got Joanna yesterday or day before sent it to Terry. We have had problems getting it formatted. And I don't know if y'all know, Terry is brilliant with the internet or with the computer stuff. So we're asking her to take a look at it. I don't know what the block is. It's been written. How long, Joanna? A month or 6 weeks?
Yeah. I mean, it kept, I'm on a Mac and it kept crashing. I don't know what was going on. It was freaking me out.
Yeah, so what happens is that Terry, I haven't talked with her since. I do want to share, she gave me permission. Let me share with you that she had a beautiful dream about Ray. And I know that I read years ago that, and I kind of believe it because a few other things the book said did turn out, but it said that when a person passes to the other side, they are in such joy, in such euphoria, that they really don't want to come back and visit. If they come back and visit, they're really going out of their way. What she called Sunday, and she shared a dream she'd had, which was quite lucid, that in the night she got cold. You know how that can go. And the next thing that happened is Ray covered her up and then cuddled with her all night. And of course, she was quite overcome by that. And it really does speak, for his love for Terry. They had an exceptional love. So she said I could share that with you guys. Anybody that thinks there is such a thing as death.
That's a great story. That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you for sharing. And it's confirmation how she should be doing the book.
Well, it could be. And the other thing I'll share real quickly in case any of you have had this experience. The other thing the book said, it said, yes, they are so euphoric. They may not want to come back, to see you. However, they will move a picture in the house. And my mother passed, and she passed away at home, and they came, got her. And about 20 minutes later, there was this big crash. And I went into my room, and there, of course, they had lived in the house since 58. I grew up there. There had always been a picture on the wall, and it was on the floor. So, of course, I looked at it. It was an old Kmart picture. I said, well, Mother would pick the cheapest picture in the house to knock down. But that gave me a little confirmation on the book. It was thought-provoking. So anyway, let me show you. We're still running from yesterday. This has been wild. I'm just going to let it run. Maybe we like that primary situation. I am God's masterpiece. And I did go ahead and pull up a fresh one. And this one we wanted, I am more than a conqueror. So we're on a roll. And but we wanted quite a few scans today. I was talking to Kevin this morning. What's interesting, if you start by doing that discarnate scan on a regular basis, pretty soon you don't need it anymore. The body seems to remember that it's doing that, which is our whole goal with all this software. And if you fall off course, maybe, go to a hospital or go someplace where there might be some stress, it might show up. But it's pretty much not coming up for us like it used to, and for individuals that get run on a regular basis. So that's pretty cool. We did want the SRC scan, the startup scan, and we want to look at stomach, flower essences. This is an interesting one. Activate lines of force to heal, restore, revitalize, strengthen, nourish, and reinvigorate. Let's douse that in and see how we look with it. There's our startup session, 93% benefit. I need to take these percentages out. Okay, so we're a little stressed with that one. We might want to, while that's amping up, I went ahead and just put stomach in Pro Tools. That's interesting. We want something in the field generator for that. Since we've got that, let's just see if that would be something that would work out in the field generator, and that would take care of the stomach stress-wise. No, that's not it. Now, typically, let's get rid of that 85. Nope, look at that. Three, 6, 9. Let's see. This one, let's see. No. No. All right, well, we're just going to let that go. That's about where it wants to go right now. And then we've got organs functioning under par, the sarcode's highly stressed, and then bugs, which I haven't gotten to that scan yet this morning. But if we look, let's just look at the flower essences. This is not the Apex. This is which is a certain brand name we seem to like, but let's just go in here. We hit the flower essences and create a session cocktail. Let's see what kind of information we're trying to give ourselves. Well, that's not good. Special essence for those with disintegrated personality disorders. Fear, worry, anxiety, procrastination. And I'll look at this one. I like that. Appropriate use of power. Let's just shin that in. I've got a little stress there, but it's going up. Let's see, also, you see it's going up to the 101. A lot of it is probably just realizing the power is available. Let's see if we want to do the emotions panel. No, don't need that. What we've got going in the dispenser seems to be enough. Taking 30 minutes with 28 repeats. And then, so here we are, and make this larger. I believe, hold on a second here.
Thank you.
I've already erased that. I think, no, I didn't. This is, okay, organs functioning below par is this one. So, we'll get the information and then just put the whole list in, and the SRC will take care of it. Some of these we may not be familiar with. And it gives you an idea. There's the heart, kidneys, bone marrow, electrolyte balance. So you get a lot of information, but let's see, we want to go down to the middle ear. Hypothalamus, joints, so on and so forth. And this, again, all very subtle. Let's just go ahead and pop that in. If you see something repeating, you might want to give it a little extra bit of energy to balance it out. So there's that. And this is the sarcodes highly stressed. And we go down to sinus on that one, that number 13. Let's go and make it bigger now. So we've got, now this is an interesting one. What we see is we've got liver. When it comes up, this is the stress, and we're going to go back in and put it in. This is more of a homeopathic with an 8X instead of a 4. I don't think y'all have this list, so I'll send it out. Somebody tell me what RBCs are.
Blood cells.
Thank you. Esophagus, tonsils, bone, nervous system, ureters, maculae, middle ear, sinus. I think we went down to sinus. So let's just do it. Let's go in. Plus we have a little information now we didn't have before. And we see a little liver stress there. Let's let that run, red blood cells. Well, the liver seems to be, and it was listed as a top area of stress, so we want to look at that.
You want 4X or 8X?
8X, yeah. He says run it with the 4X, and then when you scan it, run it with the 8X. Does that sound right to you, Kevin?
He's the expert on that one.
Yeah, he is. He's been such an amazing, and again, we got a little stress related to the tonsils too, which is interesting when you really look at the tonsils and what their functions would be. But yeah, he's the expert. And he did get very excited when he saw this software.
Who was that?
Dr. Kersey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Now I don't see it in front of me. I got that book on color, and the name of it is The Language of Color. And I haven't had a chance to do anything other than just take a quick look at it.
Excuse me, Cathy.
Yes.
How is Dr. Kersey?
He's doing wonderful.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank goodness.
I've meant to call him and every day goes by.
I know it. Isn't that the truth? No, he's doing very well.
Okay, great.
Cathy, on that SAR code, it says scan all of these, then whichever one shows up, simply beam it out, except change the 4X to an 8X.
Right.
This is the scan, and to run it, you do the 8X, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we put it in and then just put 8X, or at least that's the way I'm doing it. Yeah.
What was the book name again, please?
The Language of Color.
Thank you.
Who's the author, Cathy? Do you remember?
Her last name, I think, is I'll put it in our notes, but I think it's Melee. Unfortunately, I don't have it in here with me. I have it in the other room.
I see a Dorothy Mella.
There you go. Yeah, something like Malie or something. Yeah, her name, it's Dorothy with like 2 E's on the end. It's Dr. Kersey says this is the best book on color he's ever seen.
Would you mind including that name in the?
Not at all. I meant to have it in here,
Sorry.
and I forgot to bring it in.
Thank you.
Trying to finish that book, Owner's Manual of the Brain, and just when I think, then it says something again pertinent, so we're plugging through it. And I have, of course, I had to peek at the new book. That years ago, I had a personality test, and that was my biggest deal, was not finishing what I started. So I try, at least with my books, to finish when there's a project. I never forgot that. I've got some middle ear stress at this moment in time. Sinus. Sinus stress at this moment in time also. Let's go down to the bottom. See if this is a priority for Qi. Nope, so our polarity seems to be on. And then the bugs, I don't know if I can easily access that one. Let me see if I can. Otherwise, I'll have to do that later. Yeah, I'll have to access that list and do that a little bit later, and then I'll show you tomorrow. But in reference, we got some of this loaded up. And this is for the SRC scan also what we were stress related to in that beginning scan. Satisfying intimate relationship, stress management, which tickles me, progress towards one or more meaningful goals, and environmental pollution. So it gives us some information as a group. That we're still wanting to do some more things for stress management besides just this. Progress towards 1 or 4 meaningful goals. And then stress related to environmental pollution, kind of a big category there. And that can be so much: our food, our water, etc., air. Let's just put that in the QiGong. And then in reference to this owner's manual on the brain, it's now we're into the teenage brain. We talked about the baby brain, the fetus, and the early, just in very general terms. But apparently there are 3 major times of brain change: this birth, early childhood, adolescence, and then aging. And of course, if any of you have teenagers or ever had teenagers, you know what that's like. We tend not to look at what we were like, but we look at what our kids were like. So you see that what's happening is this is a major brain growth spurt, but also the hormones, you got your emotional and then as well social changes. And it looks like the peer group is really the determination of much of what they pick up. So I just put a few little points from the book that we can do it for ourselves. And if you have teenagers, you can work with this. Obviously, emotional balance. They talked about if you're going to work with a teen, stress long-term rewards. In other words, let's say they do something they shouldn't have done. Make it a long-term consequence, not like, well, today you can't do this or that. That was one little interesting tip.
I love that tip.
What's that?
I love that tip because it's true. We're in a society like TikTok, 3 seconds. And when you stretch it out, it really...
Yep, you're right. And of course, their relationships are so important. They said, again, I think you all know these things already, but eat as a family. Spend that time with them. It's a rough time for them. They made a comment that teenagers, no matter what they have done, should never be tried as adults if it's a crime, because their brain is still cooking. It's still growing. It's going to be probably 25 years, I beg your pardon, before they can adequately do certain things. For example, there's a decision-making part of the brain, and it just isn't developed. And the interesting thing is, of course, we know all about the prefrontal cortex. But as an infant, they're developing new brain cells. But as a teenager, they're now developing new connections between those brain cells, which means it's crucial that they have something to learn. And I know I read when Kara was a baby that what really built their self-esteem was to have something they did that they excelled in. And I'm going to tell you, I could not find it with Kara. I gave her every kind of lesson there was. She was not interested. It was quite an experience. So I finally bribed her and got her to try out for cheerleading, and that's what saved her. She got it. She became a little cheerleader, and that interested her. But it was a challenge. She didn't want to learn the piano. She didn't want to learn any musical instrument, anything, until we got to that. So they say the self-esteem is very influenced. If they can have something, they do better or do well. And of course, all through life, your self-esteem is such a marker.
You want to hear something weird?
Yeah.
My 11-year-old little great-granddaughter, you know what hers is?
What?
Cooking.
Oh, how cute.
That girl loves to cook, and she loves to bake. She makes, she begs to make dinner, and she's always baking something for everybody. It's unbelievable. I don't know where she got it.
How old is she?
She 11. She'll be 12 in July.
See, that's exactly what you want to do. They want to have something like that they excel at.
Exactly.
And it's very exciting.
Sharon, was she a picky eater when she was a child, really young?
I would not say picky. Her mother is very picky, so she's limited in what she's been exposed to, but she's starting to kind of branch out on her own.
Because I have this theory that the people that I've met that become chefs are a pain when they're young, because their sensitivity with their palate is so good that there's hardly anything they like, because it just doesn't relate them or something. So anyway, that's just my way.
I think that's dead on. Same with my daughter. She's a baker, and she was super picky as a baby child.
Wow. Very interesting. This myelin sheath, this is important also in developing these new synapses. That tied in with, you can see right here, the axon. And the way that is, you need to have plenty of insulation, which is the myelin sheath. And you see, we're even a little stressed with that as a group. So that's worth looking at and being aware of. And let's just look at here for the group.
Cathy, what does that have to do with the myelin sheath?
That, according to what I'm understanding, you've got your transmission between synapses, and you have the axon, which goes one direction. I can't remember the one that goes the other. And the myelin sheath is like their little insulator, and the thicker, the better.
Yeah. So I forgot what disease it is that affects it.
What's that?
I had forgotten about what kind of disease a person might have if there's something wrong with the myelin sheath.
Oh, many. Multiple sclerosis. There are many.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. And now this is interesting just for us as a group. They say 99% of us are deficient in fatty acids. Let's just see, since we came up with that myelin sheath, we have not bad, but let's go ahead and just lower that stress. And because we're not able to get enough probably through our food. And then here's just, I don't know how this, now it's not going to copy. I don't know how this healing numbers site gets all this, but they sure have it. Increase the safety, performance, and speed of axon transmission. And this learning, probably for every age, but especially for teenagers, is crucial. to have something. And again, a little stress related to that. I think there's so much information out there. They're going to take, according to what I'm reading, any kind of a trauma is going to hit them a little harder in that age group. And the trauma may not be what we would consider trauma. But this peer group is so important. Okay. This dopamine, they say, is out of whack during those years, which makes them a little bit more, what's the word, operating perhaps without thinking first. It's a little bit of an addictive thing. And what you're wanting is long-term motivation. That goes again to, if you get a C on your report card, you're grounded, or if you get a C on your report card, you may not get into the college of your choice, that kind of thing. You want to put it off. Don't make it immediate. And Joanna's right, the TikTok generation, it's a real interesting influence on these kids. Not perhaps in a good way.
No wonder I'm so messed up. I lost my manual for the brain.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that we all want to take care of our computer and our head computer. And now the amygdala is the seat of emotions for the teens. It's not at other ages, but at this point in here, the amygdala. And what it seems like, you'll have people say, well, what can I take for that? I think we're trying to take too many things. You might want to Google some foods for the amygdala. And for example, dark chocolate, how about that? And chamomile tea. I don't know if they would want that. The other thing, it is disastrous. I don't like to use that word, but absolutely disastrous for these kids to get into alcohol in these early years. And I don't know what all you do to prevent that. I know years ago, back when my daughter was a teenager, the neighbor had to go out. She's a good friend, and she had a daughter, and she had to run out. And she literally got around the corner and remembered something, so turned around and went back home. By the time she could get back home, the house was filled with kids. They all had bottles with them. She was like, how did they get there? They must have been waiting around the corner for her to leave. So I don't know, you do a lot of prayer. I will tell you that much. You do a lot of prayer when you're raising these teenagers. You definitely need a higher source. So that one, though, is worth knowing. And of course, then you've got stress related to peer pressure.
What my mom did for all of us girls is she used to haul corn liquor in the back of her truck and have destination stops. So one night, it looks like water. So she gave us all a glass of water, and we smelled it. Oh my God, it was not water. And she had us all take a big swig of it. Well, that certainly cured me.
I would say so. By the way, I talked with someone the other day that quit smoking through putting all her cigarette butts in a bottle of water and taking a whiff of it. And it was so revolting that over time she quit smoking.
Wow, that's a great idea. I'm going to remember
Wouldn't
that.
hurt to try. Now then, of course, with your teens, you have depression and suicidal thoughts. And again, because they're operating more from the amygdala, this is something, I don't know. Again, you step into your prayer work, you look at what's going on with them.
I was talking to someone about how I pray over Audrey, and they were telling me about how powerful a mom and dad's prayer is over their children.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, Audrey had acne really bad, and I just prayed on one side just to see if it worked, and it did. And so then I prayed over both sides of her face. Now I just got to work on the scar tissue.
That's wonderful. Good for you. Yeah, Audrey's a beautiful girl, for those of you who don't know Audrey. So, okay, so that just some thoughts with all this, and I don't know how many have teenagers, but it is an interesting experience. Let's just see now where we are. And then good old WonderClick. Let's just take a look. See, we have some stress in spite of getting our daily stress management. We've still got some stress. So that's going to be very interesting. If we're going to have to, I know at least I am going to have to take a closer look at that. Peeling away resistance. The gallbladder meridian, again, let's just check. Do we want the implant command? A lot of times that's a signal.
Look at the timer on that also.
What did it say? I missed that.
27 hours.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. And look at that. We definitely want the implant command. So that might be something going on today, which is creating some stress. Let's go in here and load that up.
We have stuff coming off of the sun.
Is that what it is?
That, and then there's the earth itself is expanding, so they've got earthquakes going off, and it's just earth is growing, and it's a mess.
Let's go ahead and break this implant command down, knowing this is all subtle stuff. Let's just see what we're talking about. And again, this is a group.
It's just that if everybody goes outside, we've heard about the UV rays, but we never hear anything about the UVC rays. So between the hours of 10 and 2 is very crucial that you keep your skin covered.
Oh, that's interesting. This is quite a list. I probably should have done the Excel, but let's go down it quickly and just see if anything jumps out. So here's one. I request the protection and wonderful sword of Archangel Michael to cut the cords that bind me to the dark forces and the third dimension. Well, let's just put that in there. And that will do the Tesla 369. Pick it up, it will go to the 101. And if anybody has more information on implants and wants to share, it's always good. Okay, we're wanting to clear negative vows and agreement, and we can do this just with our words. Even just saying I am broke or I am sick, these are all forms of that, but we don't know what else is going on around us. We don't know what other dimensions. I think I told you about the one person who says the tree of life is actually all of the dimensions, all of the realities that were in the process while in 3D. It's kind of mind-boggling. So it's interesting, we're taking this instead of the discarnate scan. Please heal, clear, repair, encase, remove, and make null and void all that is not serving the highest good for all that are in my past, present, or future lives. That doesn't sound too bad. Let me know if I miss one. I ask that after all the clearings and healings are completed, that all aspects of myself be invited to merge with my beingness so we can all experience our wholeness now.
And how do we access this list?
Yeah, this is the implant command, and you should have that in there.
Okay.
Hopefully you have it. And then if you go up to the find options, it is very interesting to run some of these to break down to see, well, where exactly is this stress? What's going on? And I can't even tell you where I got this. It's been a long time, and I'm not any expert on this kind of thing, but obviously we're asking for this energy today. Please remove and heal all mucus on my etheric blueprint. Well, mucus does show up. Let's just put that in there. Little stress related there. Please remove and heal all my negative belief systems from my past, present, and future. If that's not it, wait a minute. Oh, please remove and heal all my negative astral residue. Okay, and then well, you can just always, this wasn't that long. Oh, well, never mind. Never mind, there's more. Well, now it's not going to want to. It's going to stop. So please remove and heal all my toxic residue that I received while in my mother's womb. Is that it? No, it's up here. Wait. Please remove and heal all my implants and imprints of negative self-manipulation. Please remove and heal all my need for whom do I blame attitude. Please remove and heal all the cause for my inability to stand up for myself. See if my little copy thing, okay, now it's working again. That one has a little stress to it. Move up. Please remove and heal all my need for whom do I blame attitude.
Cathy, where do you get all these from?
I couldn't hear you. What was that?
Where do you get all these things from?
This is the implant command. You all should have that one. I'll show you again. But it's in there.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, it's called the implant command. I wish I could tell you where I received that. I don't know anymore. I maybe read a book. It may come from Dr. Percy. It just doesn't ring a bell. It may come from Grandmaster. You know, I save this stuff. Release, remove, and heal my family genetic imprinting. This is about several things related to addiction. Anyway, you got the idea here. Look, here's your heart chakra. Release, remove, and heal all the armor around my heart chakra, etc. So you can see, yeah, we would have a little stress today, wouldn't we, if this stuff was going on? And is it possible it was implanted in us? I don't know.
One thing's for certain, when I say the word Kevin, I see his face and I send him lots of love because I want you to know how grateful I am you're with us.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
Glad to help where I can.
Just in the future, an Excel spreadsheet would be better for this one, but at least you see, it's not, you don't have to do it. Speaking, writing, walking, and talking, my spiritual knowing. They say, even if you just mention to one person some of the things like this, you might change your life. Oops, please remove and heal all my implants of technology zombie devices, causing me to want to be a couch potato due to lack of energy. That's funny. Anyway, like I say, in the future. Well, no. All right, I'm going to have to make an Excel spreadsheet. This is going to take forever, I guess. Let me make a quick scan. But there's a lot of work we're wanting to do with this one. I didn't even realize this cocktail was that long, so I'll do an Excel spreadsheet to finish and show y'all in the notes. Concussion. This disconnection from the divine comes up, and it often means we're not praying, we're not meditating. And it's a little stressy. Some of that stuff is trying to make its presence. That can go in the prayer warrior. Negativity. And again, some of that came up in reference probably to whatever this stress related to the implants. Fractured soul, which I think with what Neville Goddard teaches is we're not using our ability. We've had our choices a little bit fractured. Bacteria. Okay, so we've got some stress related. Wait a minute. It's interesting that I accidentally put in a good thing. Could bacteria be a good thing? Could it be trying to deal with radiation? Could there be some other stressors that these pathogens actually come out to work with? Anybody ever thought of that?
Bacteria being a good thing or a bad thing?
It could be a good thing.
Oh,
that's what Dr. Thomas Cohen talked about in one of his books. The fact that those our pathogens are there, and as long as we stay in balance, they're no trouble. But when we get out of balance, they come out trying to assist, which at that point, of course, makes it look like the pathogens are causing the problem. But the true problem is that we were out of balance.
Yeah, because instead of using like hand sanitizer, I go wash my hands. And all the different things that go on. It's like, I try to expose Audrey and I to both good and bad.
Well, according to what he's saying, though, the idea would be just get yourself in balance. He talked about even the Spanish flu that killed so many people, and they never did identify the cause. But it was coincidentally the same year the radio waves were started to be implemented. Okay, there's some immune stress today, so that needs to have further work. Let's put it in here for now. But this would be, again, a good day to do your thymus tap. And let's see, we wanted the field generator. Let's see if we have anything in here in reference to immunity. I don't know that we do. All right, let's just go ahead. I'm just going to, for now, put this supplement in here called Super Immune Plus. Give us 40 minutes of that, and then later look and see what else we're talking about. This lymphatic system, too, is significant. Form of stress we kind of ignore. No, we're looking okay there. There's that pericardium again. See if we want that cocktail. No, close, but we've got quite a bit going already. It's just your life force meridian. Let's just douse in life force. See how we're looking. We'll take a little amp up on that. Ridicule, discomfort. Words to ponder. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Adventurous, stability. A little stress related to anger. Okay, look at that. Now, isn't that interesting? This stuff all came out with what we had in the way of our other information. So we'll do some prayer warrior work today, too. So, any thoughts?
What was your crystal you were going to share with us yesterday?
This is it. You know, I had to go get it. And it's a kind of an unusual crystal. And, but I did find it. It's dolomite. So I'll put it in the notes.
Cool.
So with that, any other thoughts?
No, thank you. That was a lot.
This was a lot. I'm going to real quick make an Excel spreadsheet for the rest of that long implant command, which I myself didn't realize was so long. But it looks like there's some information there for us. And then that'll get added. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, and we'll know a little bit more by then about our focus for the prayer group, the intention group.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot,
Cathy.
you
You guys have a
Take
great
care.
day.
Uh-huh.
Okay, bye.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well. If you would like more information on Cathy's SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, the information is on her website, CathyDSlaght.com. You click here to register, and all the information is outlined for you. And for YouTube, this is for information and educational purposes only.